In this video, I'm going to be giving you the best Fortnite settings for the lowest input delay, the highest FPS. I'm going to be going over colorblind modes, stretch resolution, everything to give you the highest potential for becoming cracked at Fortnite. So we're going to start off on our desktop and go over to the Epic Games launcher. Right click it, go to properties and go to compatibility. And you want to run this program as administrator. So check this box and hit apply. So now when you open Epic Games launcher, it's going to ask if it wants to make changes. Just click yes. This is going to make your game run a lot smoother. So now go over to library, click the 3 lines on Fortnite and click options. Now what you want to do in here is uncheck all of these boxes unless you play Save the World, but I don't know who plays Save the World. Unchecking all of these will highly increase your Fortnite performance and lower your ping. The only one you want to have checked is pre-download streamed assets. What this is going to do is download all of the Fortnite skins and cosmetics before you get into the game, so it's not actively doing it as you're playing it. With this checked, your ping is going to be greatly lowered and your FPS is going to be increased. So have your settings look like this. You don't want DirectX 12 shaders on if you're playing performance mode, which I highly recommend. If for some reason you don't play performance mode, then you're going to need this checked. But most of your guys' settings should look like this, so just click apply. And once this finishes installing, your game is just going to run so much better. So let's get into the in-game settings. So go over to your settings and let's start on the video tab. First things first, make sure you're on full screen. If you're not on full screen, please just make it full screen. It's so much better. Going down here, you should probably keep your resolution on the resolution of your monitor, but if you really need to, you can lower it for better frame rates. It's just gonna look a hell of a lot worse. So I keep mine on 1080p. VSync, keep that off. For the frame rate limit, you wanna set that to 1 above whatever your monitor refresh rate is. So let's say you have a 120 hertz monitor, set the frame rate limit to 144. The only ones you don't change are 240 or 360. If you have a 240 hertz monitor, leave it at 240. If you have a 360 hertz monitor, leave it at 360. Going on unlimited or 360 when you have a lower monitor refresh rate is going to impact you negatively. So I'm going to leave mine on 240 because I have a 240 hertz monitor. Rendering mode, you definitely want this on performance mode. Performance mode is just so good. It has the lowest input delay and highest FPS, so keep this on performance mode. Just know that when you switch between rendering modes, you're gonna need to restart your game. I'm gonna get into colorblind modes later, but for now I'm gonna skip this. So in the graphics quality tab, you're probably gonna wanna leave your 3D resolution on 100% because it looks the best. However, if your PC is really struggling to run the game, you can lower this and it will increase your FPS. But trust me, don't go too low with this one because your game will literally look like a potato. So you're probably gonna wanna leave it on 100. Nanite virtualized geometry, you can't change this on performance mode. It should just stay on off. View distance, textures, and meshes all turn to the lowest setting. You may think that view distance, keeping it on near would give you a competitive disadvantage. However, this is not true. Your view distance, whether it's on near or epic, you will be able to see players from the same distance. The only thing that changes is objects. But if you actually have a near view distance, you'll be able to see players through walls if they're far enough away. So keep it on near, it'll give you the best advantage and the best performance. You may want to play on high meshes because you think it looks a little better. However, if you're playing on near view distance, it'll look the same as low meshes, and low meshes just gives you the best performance. So now for the advanced graphics, turn on show FPS because you want to see your FPS, and then leave report performance stats off because with this enabled, it will lose some performance. Okay, so the next thing you need to do is a little weird. Since you're on performance mode, it doesn't give you all the options that are actually available. So if you switch over to DirectX 11, hit apply, you're gonna have to restart your game. Once your game is loaded back up, if you go into settings, you will have way more options to adjust. Don't worry, you're gonna switch back to performance mode later, but in order to see these options, you need to be on DirectX 11. So just come down to your graphics quality settings, set your quality preset to low for now, and then your anti-aliasing and super resolution, turn that off. Now for the 3D resolution, it's gonna be set to 50% because you're just on performance mode. Move this back up to 100. Dynamic 3D resolution, leave that off. Nanite virtualized geometry off. Shadows off. Global illumination off. Reflections off. The view distance and textures we already set to near and low, so keep those. And then effects and post processing, you're gonna wanna set these to low as well. And now finally, the advanced graphics, leave show FPS on, use GPU crash debugging, leave this off. Like, look in the top right hand of the screen. Enabling this feature comes at a small performance cost. Why do we want that on? Keep that off. Latency marker is off. Report performance stats also disabled. The only thing that you want on down here besides show FPS is for NVIDIA Reflex Low Latency. Set this to on plus boost. So now once you have all your settings filled in on DX11, you can go back up here, change your rendering mode back to performance mode. Unfortunately, it's gonna make you restart your game again. But once you set this, you're never gonna have to change it again. So click restart now. Okay, so now that I'm in game, as you can see, my FPS is at a solid 240 right now with these settings. It's absolutely insane. So now I'm going to be showing you guys the best colorblind mode settings. So come over to your video settings and scroll down to graphics. There's two real options that you could use. Either the default colorblind off, brightness 100%, or there's the colorblind that a lot of pros are using, including Kanata, Deuteranope, strength 5 with brightness at 150%. I think this one looks pretty good also. It'll help you see some stuff better, but it is a little blander looking. So whichever one you really prefer, you can use. These are both very valid options. And if you want, you can go over to your desktop, right click, show more options, and open the NVIDIA control panel. And if you go to adjust desktop color settings over here, you can change your digital vibrance. So if you move this up a little bit, let's say I'll go to 65, hit apply, the game just looks so much brighter and more vibrant. So you can kind of adjust the digital vibrance and combine it with Deuteranope to give back the vibrance that it sort of takes away. But keep in mind, leaving it on the default colorblind mode is also perfectly acceptable this season. So you do have free will to kind of play around with these, adjusting the digital vibrance, whether you want to use Deuteranope or just regular. So now let's get into stretched resolution. So if you want to use stretch resolution in Fortnite, go to your desktop, right click, and go to show more options. Then open the NVIDIA control panel, then go over to adjust desktop size and position, put it on full screen, and set your perform scaling to GPU. People may tell you that display is better, but it is much more complicated. And if you're just trying stretch resolution for the first time, or you're not fully sure that you want to go through with it, GPU is a much easier way to do it. If you use display, it's a much more complex method, and it can be a bit scary. So set it to GPU. So now click apply and go over to change resolution and click customize. So now check this box, enable resolutions not exposed by display, and create custom resolution. So now for the stretch resolution that a lot of pros, including Peterbot, uses. And Peterbot, if you don't know, he's absolutely a god at the game, is 1720 by 1080. So keep vertical lines the same and just change horizontal pixels to 1720. Then click test and yes. So now just make sure this is checked and click OK. So now if you scroll up to the top, you should have a custom option of 1720 by 1080. Click on it, make sure your refresh rate is the maximum of your monitor, and click apply. And click yes. So as you can see, your screen is now stretched, but we are not done yet. Go to the search bar, type in % local app data %, and press enter. It should open up this folder. So now in this folder, just scroll down to Fortnite game. Right here, double click, go to saved, config, Windows client, and then right click the game user settings. Properties, make sure read only is not checked. Click OK. Then go back, show more options, edit. You should get this notepad that popped up. Don't worry about any of this. All you really need to do is click edit, replace, type in 1920 and replace with 1720. Then just click replace all. So now after you did that, just click file and save. Don't forget to do this. Right click, properties, turn on read only, apply, and OK. Now if you open back up Fortnite, you should be on the God Peterbot stretch resolution. So guys, if this video was helpful, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.